Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. On this weird looking board, I am going to teach you how to become a millionaire. Now this is not a clickbait. I myself became a millionaire and I became financially free. So I'm going to share some of the tips and strategies that you can start implementing now if you want to be financially free. So this is an interesting video. Please watch it till the very end. There are 4 specific points that I would like to cover. 1. I'm going to give some important disclaimers. Number 2. I'm going to talk about being a millionaire versus earning $1 million a year. Right? Those two are very, very different things. 3. I'm going to talk about some strategies that you can use to earn $1 million per year. And finally, I'm going to share some of the specific points and golden rules that you must keep in mind in your journey towards financial independence. So let's get started, and let me first and foremost give some very important disclaimers. First point, am I talking about millionaire in US dollar terms or INR terms? US dollar terms. Okay, that's one. Number 2, am I considering inflation, emergency expenses, all that stuff? No, not right now. Just to keep the explanation simple, I am discounting that. Number 3, is it going to be hard to become a millionaire? The answer is yes and no, right? It really depends. But please don't get bogged down. Please listen to the entire video. Things will start making sense. Fourth and finally, can you do it? Yes, you can, right? So let me show you how, and let me take you to a very important point that you must understand, that what is the difference between being a millionaire and earning $1 million per year. So being a millionaire is easy. I'll repeat it again, that being a millionaire is easy. Earning $1 million a year, especially in India, it's very, very tough. So why do I say that becoming a millionaire is easy? Right? It is easy, and let me explain you why. So let's understand this via an example. So let's say that your parents or your grandparents bought a house, right? They bought that house 20, 30 years ago in tier 2, tier 3 city. If they bought that house in a metro, then majority of the houses in Delhi can easily go up to 2 to 3 crores, right? 2 crores to 3 crores. So you're already well underway to becoming a millionaire, or you probably are already a millionaire. Right? So that is the reason why a lot of people in Gurgaon, when Gurgaon started escalating in terms of its property pricing, became millionaires in a span of 3-4 years itself. So this type of stuff happens very frequently. It happens across asset classes, that you have bought Bitcoin, that you are sitting on a ton of Bitcoin, then 20 years after, you might become a millionaire. Similarly, if you have bought a farmland somewhere in tier 2, tier 3 city, acres and acres of farmland, then again it can grow and it can become really big, and again you might become millionaire. Important point and structure to notice is that what you're doing here is very simple, that you're converting your investment, right, into money, right? Now, is this liquid cash? No. If for example you're living in the same house in Delhi which currently is valued at 3 crores, can you sell it very easily? Yes, you might imagine that, hey, you know what, my house is like 3 crores or 4 crores or 5 crores, whatever number you are imagining. But when you go and try to sell it, there will be a lot of taxes and you might struggle to sell it, first and foremost. Second, if you're selling it, you will have to take a lot of hit in terms of your taxes, whatnot. Number 3, you might have a hard time selling it. Even when you sell it, you might sell it some money in black, some money in white in India, and again it becomes a nightmare. So technically you might be a millionaire, but that money is not hitting your bank account. So you might have your own definition of being a semi-millionaire, so to say. Important point from a learning perspective, and this is what I would want you to note down, that if you make smart investments and let those investments grow, you are likely to become a millionaire. It might happen that you might become a millionaire when you are 30. It might happen that you become a millionaire at 40, at 50, at 60, but at some stage that will happen as long as you are making smart, intelligent investments. So I hope this point is clear, that earning $1 million is not super complicated. You can do it via stock markets, real estate, buying gold, whatever, right? It can happen. You just have to invest right and sit tight. That's it. That's what you need to keep in mind, and that's what you need to work towards. So I hope this point is clear. Let's move on to the next point, which is that how do you make $1 million a year in India? This is very tough. Very, 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 very tough in fact. This is super complicated to do, right? Why do I say it? So, in order to make $1 million, this roughly translates to 7.3 crores per year, right? This is a very big number. If you take a per day calculation, right, this comes out to be roughly 2 lakh rupees per day. Now, this is a very big number to achieve. Not super easy, very tough. Do I make $1 million a year? I will leave that to your imagination. Please comment in the comment box. Do I make $1 million a year? I will not disclose the answer. But here are a few points that you must remember, right? There are 2-3 things that you can do to make $1 million a year, right? Number one, you can do this via jobs, right? So that is the first route in which you can make $1 million a year every single year. Can you do that in India? Very unlikely. Maybe if you are a partner at a massive consulting firm or an investment bank, and if you have had a very, very profitable year, it will happen, but that usually happens at the age of 50, 60, right? Tough to do that in India, very, very difficult to do. So through jobs, that's one of the routes, that's one of the options, but it's very difficult to achieve, right? So I will leave the discussion there, that if you want to become a millionaire by doing jobs in India, very tough. Your best bet is to move outside India and get a high paying job in a foreign market. Now, if you're working as a partner at McKinsey, New York, or if you're working as a partner at BCG, Germany, you might be making more than $1 million, right? So that is possible outside India, but in India, the salaries are deflated, right? Because there is something called as PPP, purchasing power parity. So it becomes a problem that the salaries in India are paid in PPP terms, even by top corporations. So therefore, making $1 million in India via jobs is very, very tough. This brings us to the second point that, hey, what can you do? You can do businesses, right? Now, what type of businesses can you do? So there are essentially two types of businesses you can do. What was the target? We were targeting to make 2 lakh rupees a day, right? Now, either you are running a very big business, you have taken over your family business, you have inheritance. In that respect, every structure or everything is established for you. You just have to step in. You have to just accelerate the operation. You have to work hard, of course. Like for example, Ambani's sons and daughters, they are doing that. And they are making billions, right? Similarly, your grandparents, your parents might have worked very hard to establish businesses. You are getting that in inheritance. You have built a big business already and you are benefiting out of that. So that is one way, right? But not all of us have that luxury. Do I have it? No, absolutely not. I have built all my businesses in a small business fashion and I have made it profitable. So this brings us to the second part of your business, that you can think about having small businesses, right? That is very important. These days, the world is going digital, right? So you can start your YouTube, you can start your own consulting services, you can start your own product or education related services. So this is something that I have done over time and I have branched out into multiple streams of income. I will talk about what all income streams do I have when I hit 200,000 subscriber mark. So help me reach there fast and I will disclose that. But for the time being, you need to understand that you have to think about building small businesses. Now, what are the challenges that you will face in terms of building small businesses? Number one, your time becomes extremely important, right? Your time becomes the most important component for you. Why? Because if you are managing, let's say 5 or 6 small businesses, right, which are mounting to this, right, that you are making literally 2 lakh rupees a day through these 5 or 6 businesses, then the demand for running those 5-6 businesses can be huge. You have to handle everything, right? From operations, marketing, sales. You have to hire a few people. So you have to make hiring decisions also. So what is the thing that you must remember and understand? You must remember and understand people management. You must focus on your own learning, because you can't create 5-6 businesses which amount to 2 lakh if you don't know enough stuff on your own. So therefore, watch my channel, learn new things. Discuss it with people, right? Spread positivity. That's the message. But bottom line is that you must focus. If you have no inheritance, if you have no one backing you up, then focusing on creating small businesses can become a very powerful tool for you to make $1 million a year. Okay. So this is where I will start summarizing some of the key rules. Rule number 1 is that you must learn, right? Very important for you to understand that learning becomes extremely important if you don't have a very big business. If you are trying to become a millionaire by either going abroad and working, you need immense knowledge. If you are trying to start a bunch of small businesses, what do you need? You need to learn and be very, very effective and efficient. Please keep that in mind. So learning becomes a very important skill to have. That's it. Number 2, you must be entrepreneurial and you must be able to take calculated risks, right? Majority of us get scared starting a small business, right? We should not be scared. We should start it. We should at least try it out. Then subsequently, what we should do? If we get a scale-up opportunity or if we get an opportunity to scale up that business, invest in new businesses, learn to invest, learn to create passive sources of income. You have to take risk to make money. That is 2. Number 3, try to discover some passive sources of income. For me, passive sources of income would be something like stock markets, right? So I advocate learning about stock markets. There are so many videos that I have released on this channel. So please go and watch it, learn more about stock market. Other passive incomes could be YouTubing, writing, copywriting, writing books, whatnot, right? So figure out what these passive income sources could be, right? So all these will help you create these small businesses, bunch of small businesses, and you can make money out of it. Final skill that I would like to share, or the final nugget of wisdom that I would like to share with you, is that be nice to people, cultivate good skills, because the network that you will build will help you build those small businesses and scale up those small businesses that help you make $1 million a year. So I hope you found this video to be useful and insightful. Do give me your comments, do give me your feedback, and I will see you the next time.